What is your full name?
Leslie Ann Navarro.
Where are you from?
I'm from Sandusky, Michigan.
How old were you in 2009?
37 years old.
What do you recall about your financial life before the Great Recession before 2007?
It was stable.
Were you overly worried about the health of the economy?
No,
Why?
because it didn't seem to affect my short-term or long-term goals at the time.
Had you experienced economic hardships prior to 2007?
No,
How did you discover that our nation was facing a severe economic situation?
because people started losing their homes and people were beginning to have unemployment issues.
What happened to your extended family or friends and neighbors during the Great Recession?
A few lost their homes or foreclosed, I guess they call it foreclosure on their homes. Others didn't have work all the time that was steady.
How did this impact you?
It it didn't immediately. Just heard about it and felt their pain.
What did you think of President George W. Bush and the Congress's reaction to the Great Recession?
I think they did what they could to aid at the time.
What did you think of President Barack Obama's and the Congress's reaction to the Great Recession?
I don't recall so much about what Obama did in the beginning of his administration. It seemed like a lot of it had already started.
How did you feel about the financial bailout given to the banking industry?
I was weary of it at first, but it seemed to work out. I think they needed to have more rules on how they distributed money and who they saved at the time.
How did you feel about the financial bailout given to the automotive industry?
Same, but being from Michigan, you have to hope that your auto industry will be helped because so many people have jobs related to the auto industry in these areas.
How did you feel about the expansion of entitlement programs during the Great Recession?
I really didn't have any sort of feeling about those.
What do you believe is our nation's greatest economic concern?
Growing debt, letting people get into debt way over their heads, allowing people to file bankruptcy repeatedly. Just it seems like that people get in too far and they're allowed to, and that should be stopped.
Do you think that recessions or depressions can be prevented?
I'm not sure about that because markets change, industries change. Again, you have lending issues with banks lending too much money to people who don't have enough to pay it all back. And in the end, we all end up paying it back. So it affects all of us in that regard. But it's just a matter of not letting people or businesses get into too far of financial issues.
What do you believe should be done to protect the people from economic problems?
More rules on how much they can lend or more limits on how they are able to borrow money and should change as their income changes so that they don't get in over their heads.
How do you think the Great Recession has changed our nation or the world?
It seems like lending has changed a little bit, but as we see the market growing for homes currently, we see people borrowing money to buy them. So I don't know. I hope we learn from those times, and I hope that people don't find themselves in situations where they lose their homes again.
How has the Great Recession changed you?
I try to do my best to plan ahead, make sure that money is saved in case there is issues with employment in the future or as rising cost of things occur. So just trying to make sure things are in order with savings.
What lessons should be learned from the Great Recession?
Only buy what you can afford to have.
What would you want students to know about economic crises?
For students, that's a good rule as well. I mean, it's nice to have all these things. It's nice to go on trips. It's nice to to have nice cars, nice homes, great clothes, but sometimes you have to look at what you really have and not go overboard with those things so that your family overall is healthy. You can afford to send your kids to the colleges they want to go to. You can afford to help them out in ways. So I would just say take a step back and look at what you have and whether or not you can afford it.
All right, thank you.